Hi, right, welcome to the shed, my emporium of crap mainly. Over the years I've bought all sorts of things from auctions, and yeah, let me show you a few. Right, a 35cc chainsaw, small one. I don't need anything too big, just to cut up firewood for the log burner. If you follow my channel, you probably would have seen this, my optical comparator. That came from an auction room as well. Here in the summer house, I bought some vintage panel meters. Some of these are really old. I'll show you. I think these ones were built in Cambridge, England in 1940. So yeah, they're proper antiques. When I bought the meters, they came in a box, and I thought when I walked out it was a bit heavy, and when I got home and opened the box up, I found I got a variac in it as well. All of the bits I've shown you so far have come to about 50 odd pounds, so that's a good deal generally. They've all been okay, they've all worked absolutely fine. This is a real bonus, really useful bit of kit. Anyway, I think I've bought my first lemon, and here it is. You might say to yourself, oh, that looks all right. It was £15, and when I got it home I thought, oh, I'll just throw some petrol in it and see whether or not it works. Threw some petrol in it and it fired. So I thought, yeah, I went to a winner here. However, I couldn't get it run, so I thought, what on earth's gone wrong with this? So on further inspection, I don't think this lead should be hanging in the breeze, and it's not easy to see, but I've put a couple of fuel pipes on it. There were no fuel pipes, which leads me to believe this has been had a go at by some bloody amateur. So and I'm keen that everybody has a go at something, but then to put it in an auction and sell it, I think is if they can't work it or fix it or do anything better with it, just to flog it on, I think is not the done thing. So what I'm going to do is strip this down, and we'll see whether or not it's worth pursuing. If it isn't, I'm going to do the same as they did, put the damn thing back in the in an auction and get shot. But I'll put a label on it saying spares only. So that's what we're going to have a look at today. So roll the tiles and we'll get into it. Right, so here we go. Let's start whipping the covers off. Brought you around the end here. It's absolutely filthy, this thing, but I mean that's to be expected. There you go. Here's the next fault. The priming bulb. Hang on, let me get it now. Get a bit closer. Bit difficult to see, but the priming bulb has a hole in it. That's probably why whoever decided to fiddle with this has fiddled with it, because they couldn't get it to prime. These things are only a couple of quid off Fleabay. Be much easier to just replace it. Right, there's a screw hidden in the pull start mechanism. Once I've got that out, this pull start can come off, and then I should be able to release the tank. There we go. Pull start. Crusty leaf. Yep, still the fuel in that I put in the other day. Now we're getting somewhere. Oh, anti-vibration mount for the fuel tank. That's probably there to stop the vibration of this chafing through the tank. Next up is to release the throttle cable and take the cable, the Bowden cable off. Then we can split the casing here and just take the engine off, hopefully. So let's do that. There we go. That's that bit. I'll just go and get a 10mm spanner. I would expect to find, ooh, aircraft. Ooh. Ooh, executive helicopter. You see more and more of those over here. It's very cloudy today, so it had to be quite low in order to see. Oh. Right, upside down. These old engines are just full of crap. I was hoping to see a sticker with a year of manufacture on it, but no, there's a serial number there, but I think any manufacturer date is gone. I mean, it's clearly a few years old. I haven't even looked for the manual. I mean, it might be around, but you can just keep taking screws out till it falls to pieces, in my experience. There we go. Hopefully that should now part. There we are. Okay, right, here we go. This is the magneto. Somewhere in here, there we go, there it is. There's magnets. They're what generate the, as they whip past this coil, they will generate a little spark, a high voltage spark, and that's what triggers the, goes down the high voltage cable into the sparky pluggy and kabang. This clearly looks like the neutral, the negative, which has to be connected to the body, so that you've got a return path, if you like. So that simply needs connecting somewhere to the aluminium casting. In here is centrifugal clutch. As the it's difficult to move, but as the engine speeds up, these plates fly out against the tension of the springs and engage with the inside of this, which is the clutch housing, if you like. So when it's idling, the spinny thing at the end isn't spinning, and when it's when this reaches a point where the plates fly out, engages with this and starts spinning it. Do you need that? Probably not, to be perfectly honest, but yeah, they clearly felt they needed it when they manufactured it. Yeah, I suppose it is better that it isn't spinning all the time. Anyway, right, off camera I'm going to dunk this in petrol and apply a toothbrush and give it a bloody good clean. So bear with me, we'll come back here when I've cleaned it all, along with these bits. I mean, they're just caked in crap. Slight change of plan, I'm not going to use petrol, I've actually got some degreaser. So I'll use that, and I've just popped out and bought some new nitrile gloves. These have bloody well gone up since COVID struck. I had to pay 15 quid for those. $15 pounds, that's a fortune. An hour or so later, everything's been cleaned. I've taken the carburetor slightly to pieces so I could get the dome off. That's the priming dome, I should say. That's 16mm, so I'll order another one. But in the meantime, I've on the lathe I've turned up a little button to fill the hole a little bit. So I just pop that in there. Okay, there we have it. And there we go. You can't squash it too far because it tends to fall inside, but that should do for testing. Here's the other fault that I think might be quite interesting. The there's a wire coming out of the. There's a switch here to turn it on and off, and there was this ground wire hanging loose when I first showed you the engine. So my feeling is that this is a continuity check on my DVM. I would have expected that to the switch to connect to there, and I would expect that to turn that continuity on and off. It doesn't do that, so I wonder if there's a cable, a wire missing out of here. So I've got to take the switch to pieces to see how that's wired in. So yeah, bear with me. Yep. As I suspected, there are two wires coming off the switch, and they both disappeared down that tube, and only one comes out this end. That explains that. This is as closest piece of wire I can find that I've got in stock, that I've fed through all the way through the tube until it pops out. Just put that so you can see it. It pops out this end. I need to put a spade connector on that to hook up with that, and then solder the other end onto the switch. Right, hopefully that's the last time I'll ever have to be in there. Might have the switch in upside down, I've got to think about that. Hopefully you can still hear me. My radio mic's batteries have failed, but in the fuel tank, when I cleaned it out, I found a manky piece of neoprene tubing and a fuel filter. Now I've given this a damn good clean, and it's not long enough. It was, if you look at it, it's clearly broken. So I'm going to replace it. And left over from another project, I have this stuff which is called Tygon 1/8 or 3.2mm petrol fuel tubing. This is for the model aircraft industry. There's a shop just down the road that stocks this stuff. So looking at it, it's a good fit. It's a very similar diameter to the original stuff, so it will block the holes up in the tank. So what I'm going to do is possibly use this as the return, because it's just long enough to dip into the to push what's the word, from the priming bulb to go back to the tank. That looks about right, but what I need to do is push this in and then fish it out so I can put the clunk, the fuel filler, on the end. So I'll do that off camera. That actually turned out to be damned easy. The old long nose pliers, yeah, got in there a treat. So let's pop the clunk on. Here we go. Shove it back in the hole. This was expensive stuff, if I remember rightly. Like pounds. I don't like pounds. Pennies, yes. Pounds, no. Now, I don't know which is supply and which is return on this carb, so I'm just going to hazard a guess, really. If it's wrong, it's wrong. I'll just swap them over. There we go. That is it. There are two dowel pins that align with holes in this casting. There we go. Just some screws to put in. Yeah, it's not the best, is it? Right, let's put the plug in and see if we can get a spark. Nothing there. Yep, that's a runner. I've no idea what the mix ratio is for oil to fuel, so I've gone with 25 to 1. Which I think is quite cautious. Here's an old trick. Dip your spark plug in fuel before you put it back in. Here we go. That little bit of fuel on there will give that a little bit of a prime. The other thing is that that spark plug was done up so tight, it was as much as I could do to get it out. You don't need to do spark plugs up that tight. They don't fly out. I've never seen, 50 odd years of playing with engines, I've never seen one fall out. Right. Hey! Fantastic! Oh! Lost a screw. Oh, I see, that's from there. That's from there. Okie dokie. The only thing to fix this then completely is to replace this priming bulb. I'll get one on order. Thanks for watching. Do hit the subscribe and the bell button, and if you like this sort of crap, there's more coming. There's the that's the problem with running engines in the workshop. 5 minutes in, you can't see what the hell you're doing.